Some might say that I'm a loner, but I just call it being free. I am my heart's only owner, or at least I used to be. 'Cause now a wildfire is raging deep inside, and my heartstrings are...
Okay everyone, I've got our food plate up for us. This is the comfort meal that I told Maria I was going to try to make for her. Maria, I didn't cook these from scratch. This all came from our prepping supplies that was out in the pantry.
Yeah.
But let's see how it tastes, okay?
If anyone wants to know how to cook fresh turnip greens, we have a video of that, don't we, Calvin? And you can put a link into it.
I sure will.
Okay, let me
Those are good.
But these right here for fast and easy is the best way to go sometimes.
Yeah, this entire meal took about 45 minutes to make all of it, and it's not too much food. We won't have a lot to throw away or anything like that. We'll have some leftovers.
Those were really delicious.
The greens are good.
And there's been some New Year's and different occasions that I have used canned turnip greens, and I was all right with it. And they were just almost as good as the fresh.
The butter beans are great. And I usually like to put my cornbread in with my butter beans, but this time I'm just going to have the butter beans by itself. Very
That's
good.
This baked potato looks really good too.
That's that dip that I made 2 days ago. And
I read some of the comments about that suggestion.
Yeah, the dip was really good. Okay, I'm trying some corn.
That is good.
You like your baked potato that way? Let me try it. Well, I tell you what I can tell by putting that dip on top of the baked potato, it warmed up the dip, made it real soft and creamy, didn't it?
That's really good. Well, Kevin, I think you did an excellent job on this meal. We taste about a cornbread. It's very good too.
Yeah, the cornbread's, I make cornbread all the time, so I know it's good. But I got it just a little bit darker, Maria. I was trying to get it as dark as I could without burning it.
I know what we should have tomorrow with our leftover cornbread. Some homemade soup.
Good vegetable soup.
Right.
Let me show them how I made it.
Hey everyone, I'm Calvin with Southern Country Living, and for today's meal I'm going to be making some real good comfort food. Marie and I, we were driving around a couple of days ago, and Marie mentioned that she would love to have some good home-cooked turnip greens and collard greens, and she said she'd like to have a big bowl of butter beans to go with it. And so I told her, I said, Marie, that's a lot of work to make all that. She said, yeah, but I just got an appetite for it. So what I thought I would do, we have a lot of food out in our pantry that we prep, and so we have to get rid of a lot of it occasionally. And so today I'm going to be using some of the cans of food that's in the pantry to make this meal, and it's a fast way to make it. It won't take as long as cooking turnip greens from scratch takes, but they'll still be real good. I'll show you how I'm going to prepare all those in just a minute. First thing I'm going to do is make some cornbread, but I'm going to move these hand towels out of the way, and I just wanted to show you here. We've got a set of 4 hand towels that one of our viewers sent us. And if I remember correctly, her name is Marcia. And these are just absolutely beautiful. And there's one more here. So we'll be using these in quite a few of our videos. But for right now, I'm going to set them to the side over here so they won't get dirty before I get started cooking, okay? So this is how I prepared that wonderful meal. Okay, I'm going to start off with some cornbread. and I'm just using the recipe that comes on the packs of the cornmeal mix, and I'm using just a little more than 2 cups of cornmeal. This is about 1 1/3 cup of buttermilk. And then this has got my oil and the egg in it, and I've already mixed the egg together real good, but I'm gonna mix it a little bit more real quick. That keeps from having to mess up 2 mixing cups if you just put it all in there together. It's a lot easier on cleanup. Okay. And when you mix this up, if your cornmeal mix seems too dry, just add just a little more buttermilk to it, or if it's too wet, add just a little more cornmeal to it. This particular bowl here, this is one of Marie's bowls. I'm sure that she probably knows exactly where she got it from, but she has had it for so many years, and every time I make cornbread, this is the bowl I like to use. She'll use a bigger bowl than this, but this is my favorite bowl. Okay, let me get busy here. Okay, that mix there looks perfect. I don't think I'm gonna have to add anything to it at all. Let me bring my skillet over here. This particular skillet is the one that we try to use this one every time we do cornbread. And I just use regular butter and butter the bottom of the skillet real good before I put the mix in. Make sure the middle is buttered, because if it's going to stick, that's where you're going to stick first. Once you get a good seasoned pan, it usually never sticks, but I still butter it real good because you want to be sure you don't want your cornbread stuck to the bottom. About last month, we went to a place called, I believe it was called Cherry Blossom Barbecue or something like that. Cherry Hill Barbecue here in Rome. And we had some cornbread that they made there, and they made that cornbread with a real dark bottom to it. So the last 2 times I've cooked cornbread, I've been letting it cook just a little bit longer and trying to get the bottom to darken up just a little bit more without burning it. And so that's what I'm going to try on this one too. I'm going to let it cook just a little longer than I normally would. Okay, so this is going to go in a preheated oven, 450 degrees. Cook it for about 15 to 20 minutes, and it will just vary. Sometimes it takes the full 20, sometimes it just takes 15. And turn the light on so I can see it and get the timer going. I always set the timer for the 15 minutes. That way, just in case, if it has to cook longer, I can add time to it and I won't forget about it. I'll be sure and check it. Okay, set these out of the way. The next thing I'm going to do, I think I'll go ahead and do the baked potatoes next. And this is, let me get some olive oil. Now this is Marie's way of doing baked potatoes. We like to just put a little bit of olive oil on there, rub it in real good. And let me just get the excess olive oil off of my hands. And take each potato. Now we have those little sacks and bags that you can put these in and cook in the microwave, but I personally prefer using the paper towels. To me it just seems to be easier and quicker, and basically no cleanup. You just throw the paper towel away when you get through. A little salt and pepper. and poke about 3 holes in each side. Then just roll it up good and tight. Okay, that's one of them ready. And be careful, don't poke a hole in your finger while you're doing this. Okay, now I got both baked potatoes ready, and I'm gonna go ahead and get these started because they do take a few minutes to cook. And on our microwave, I'll set it for 2 baked potatoes. That's the setting that we have. And then when they get through, I'll check them. If they need a little bit more, I'll add about 2 to 3 minutes extra to it. So let me get these started. I'm gonna wash this oil off my hand because my hands are slippery. And when I come back, we'll start on the other items in our meal. Okay, I'm back. I've got my hands all cleaned up, and I went ahead and put some of these bowls in the sink over there so they can be soaking. So I'm gonna get started. The first thing I'm gonna start up is the greens, and I normally would use Margaret Holmes turnip greens or collard greens, but we did not have Margaret Holmes on the shelf. And when we bought these, we probably bought these, according to the date, I would say we probably bought these 2 years ago. And most likely Walmart substituted and gave us the Glory brand, but these will be fine as long as you buy the ones that says seasoned mixed greens, turnip greens, or collard greens, whichever one you want, but these will be just fine. Let me get a pan here. And on these, all I'm going to do is just open them up. I'm going to add the greens with all the juice right in the pan. And on the greens, I am going to add some bacon, and this is 1 slice of bacon. I just cut into little short bits, and I'm just going to put that in there with it. And as it starts cooking and heating up, I will stir it a little bit. Let's see. I'll go ahead and use this to get it started stirring up just a little bit. Okay, so that's all I've got to do to this. You don't have to do anything else to it. I'm going to put this over here on the eye and let it start heating up. And I'll probably cook it for about 10 minutes at least. Just enough for that bacon to start to melt, and put some grease in here for a little extra bacon flavor. Okay, so we got that one started. Next, I'm going to do the butter beans. Now, on the butter beans, we did have the Margaret Holmes brand, and these are the seasoned butter beans. And as long as you get this kind here, you can cook these. You don't have to add anything to it, and it will be just like you had cooked them from scratch, and they'll be very delicious. These are some of the best butter beans that we have ever bought. And we've had this can probably for close to 2 years out there too. We always keep a big supply of canned foods in our pantry, but back about the time COVID was getting started, we actually loaded up a little extra. And so it's took us a while to get rid of some of the older canned foods, but we're working on it. Okay. You can tell we've had those a while. Okay, but they look good, they smell great. put these back here. Now on these, all I'm gonna do is heat the beans up till they get good and hot. Then I'll turn them off and let them cool for a few minutes, and that helps to thicken them up and make them taste better. Okay, next I'm gonna do 1 can of cream style corn, and this one we probably had it a little bit over 2 years because this is a little bit older, but it should be fine. Okay, yeah, it looks good. Smells good too. I love when you first open it up, you can smell, you can tell if it's good or not. Okay. Now on the cream style corn, the only item I want to add to it is some black pepper. You could add salt to it if you like a lot of salt, but Marie and I both are trying to watch our salt, so we don't want too much salt. And most canned foods has a lot of salt already, so I am going to put some black pepper in here. And put this over here and get started heating up. And same thing on this, I'm just going to let it come get real hot. Let it boil for maybe just a minute or two, and then it'll be done. Okay, so let all this get through cooking, and I'll start plating it up whenever it all gets through, so I'll be back with you in a few minutes. Okay, the baked potatoes are done, and so go ahead and open them up here. And what we're going to do today, I'm going to put just a little bit of salt and pepper in there first. These are sort of small baked potatoes, but these are the ones we had. Put just a little bit of butter down inside first in the middle. And then this is some of the dip that I made. It's called no name dip. Some people call it bacon ranch dip. It's called crack dip. Got several different names to it, but I made this a couple of days ago. It was really delicious. We enjoyed it, and several people suggested putting it on a baked potato. So I thought that would be the perfect thing to do right here, is put some on this baked potato. So I'm going to put about 2 spoonsful on there. Okay, so that'll be 1 baked potato that's ready. They cut open real good, so they're nice and soft. Okay, so the second one's ready, and what we'll do, I'm just going to wrap them back up and leave them wrapped up for a few minutes until everything else is ready. As soon as everything's ready, I'll plate us up a plate. Okay, the cornbread is done. See if I can turn it out here. Oh yeah, it came out nice. That looks real good. cornbread looks real good. Okay. These butter beans look great. And just for 2 people, 1 can makes a perfect amount for 2 people. Okay. Now Marie likes her corn in a separate bowl, so I'll put hers in a different bowl for her. And here's the turnip greens. And that looks good. And then here's my baked potato. Okay, let me make the other plate up, and as soon as I get it made up, Marie and I will do a taste test on it.
Okay, then this meal is just really good, very good. I really appreciate it and thank you. To me, it's just as good as fresh.
Is this as good as you was thinking about a couple of days ago when you said you wished you had some turnip greens or collard greens and some butter beans?
Yes, it is.
Good.
It really is.
So this satisfied you.
Yeah.
I love you. Marie, everyone, we appreciate you watching our video and hope that you enjoyed watching me make this meal. I know that Marie and I are going to really enjoy sitting here and eating it, aren't we, Marie?
Yes.
So, Marie, I'll let you go ahead and close the video out, and then we'll finish this meal.
Okay. Hey, y'all have a great rest of the evening, and y'all do what you love and love what you do, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see from up here.